making those assumptions. Like.
Well, I can.
Well, no, you just said I have no idea. Like, you're a detective, mate.
I work in this industry, in the security industry, and I know police officers have been followed home. I know police officers' vehicles have been targeted.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I'm not interested in harming any police officer.
But I don't know that, do I?
All right, well then, what are we gonna? How are we gonna proceed then?
Well, I'd like you to go if possible.
So is that gonna like? What does that achieve? Like, I'm not gonna go.
Well, it makes me feel better. I don't understand why you want to put me on this edge.
I'm not putting you. You're putting yourself. I don't even think you are on edge. I feel like you just want to come out and bark a few directives and stuff. Like,
any directives.
I feel like you want to flex a bit of perceived jurisdiction that you've got.
Really,
like.
I'm too old for that. Really, if I'm honest.
All right, well then let's leave it at that. It's Friday afternoon. I've engaged. I've told you I'm not here for trouble. Like, I feel like.
You haven't given a good reason for doing it.
I don't need a reason though. What I'm doing is lawful.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not lawful.
Okay, so why would I need a reason?
It's just like my colleague is explaining.
Do I have to account for my actions in a public place doing something legal? You can find it strange. It's not illegal if it's strange. Like, I don't have to say anything.
It's definitely suspicious behaviour around police stations in the current state of affairs around the world, isn't it?
What state of affairs?
When people are getting, Royal Police officers are getting injured, like my colleague said, on off duty. It just makes it's a bit concerning.
What, on the basis of being filmed, like?
But it's like, we keep going around in circles now, don't we? But is there anything you need to report to us today?
No.
Is that the reason why you're here?
No.
No? Why are you here then?
To film.
Why to film?
Because this is what I want to do.
Filming? Do you not see from our point of view that it could be considered a bit of a security risk?
No.
Why? Okay.
Because I'm not trying to. I'm not doing it covertly. I'm doing it very overt, right in front of your face. I'm giving you ample opportunity to grab me, like prospective.
It may make other members of the public that see you doing this, and obviously police officers and police staff coming out of here, be on edge. Why does he film me? Okay.
Today's video is courtesy of Khalid Burks. You'll find their link down below. So go show them some support and check out the full clip. In today's episode, we're outside Southampton's Central Police Station. An auditor is standing on a public footpath, carrying out a lawful act of filming. There is nothing concealed or covert about his presence, no obstruction, and no immediate sign of wrongdoing. Despite that, the situation escalates quickly. A detective sergeant arrives, along with armed officers. The tone shifts immediately towards suspicion and control. Claims are made about potential security risks. The auditor is treated as if he poses a serious threat, despite no clear supporting evidence being presented. A search is carried out, but nothing unlawful is found. Even after that result, the interaction continues toward attempts to seize his phone. This raises questions about proportionality and necessity, because the outcome of the search did not confirm the initial concern. When serious powers are used without clear justification, it becomes important to examine how and why that decision was made.
The size of this guy on the right. Look at the size of this guy. Yeah, I'm alright.
How you doing, buddy? Right?
Yeah.
We've just been asked to come down here to see what you've been doing.
Yeah, I haven't really.
Organisation with the selfie stick on.
Yeah. Are you recording?
I'm recording, mate. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we're both recording.
Do you mind letting me know next time you start recording?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The size of this guy.
Recording audio and visual. So I just wonder what you're doing.
Yeah, the same.
Okay, I'm sure in the safety of the building.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Just filming.
Okay. If you could come up in a public area, that would be brilliant.
This is public.
More than talented. Okay, reports saying you've been going around the back.
No, I haven't. Definitely haven't been around the back.
There.
Well, if I have, then I'm not there now, am I?
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So if you don't go to a private area, that'll be absolutely fine. There'll be no problems. All right.
Okay. This isn't a private area.
Thank you.
That's not what we said. If there are, to run back.
Stop recording now.
All right. No need for the attitude. Like. Could you identify as well?
Okay.
Would you mind identifying? I can't hear you, mate. I will pick it back up.
That's what you're doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm making a video.
Of what?
The police building.
Okay, why are you filming people's cars when they're coming out of there then? Because they're personal cars, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're in public.
Well, they're not in public at the moment.
Who are you?
I'm a police officer.
All right.
You want to see my ID?
Yeah, I would really expect you to show it to me.
Here you go. Detective Sergeant Jamie Wiseman.
DS, yeah.
Okay.
And any detective work to be getting on with, or?
Well, no, I'm due to be
more
going
worried
home now,
about. All right, then go home then.
No, I'm more worried about you.
Three officers approach, creating a noticeable escalation in presence. The detective begins with a concern about filming private cars, framing it as a potential security issue. At first, the wording sounds reasonable on the surface. It references privacy and personal information. But the legal position is more straightforward. There is no general law preventing filming of vehicles visible from public space. Registration plates are displayed openly by design and are intended to be seen in public environments. That is why dash cams, CCTV systems, and automatic number plate recognition operate legally across the country. These systems routinely capture the same type of information being referenced in the interaction. The key point is consistency in application. If those systems are lawful, the principle of visibility remains the same. The concern being raised therefore appears less about legality and more about interpretation of intent, which is where the justification becomes less clear when examined against actual legal
Then go home
No,
then.
I'm more worried about you filming people's private cars. Police officers get a bit jumpy about that.
Why?
Why?
You got
Because
something to
people
hide or
don't like
something?
us.
Okay,
Some
well I'm
people
not.
have
I'm
vengeance
not.
against police officers,
Well,
and
I
you're
don't.
filming our personal cars when we come out.
But I don't.
That makes me very jumpy.
Just to let you know as well, we're on body worn video as well, okay?
All right. What are you jumpy about?
When my personal details going out on social media or something like that.
Like you're just assuming that it's gonna go on social media. Do you know any of this? Like you're just assuming.
No, I'm
that.
asking you.
Okay. What do you want me to say? Like
Well, I want you to tell me what you're going to do with that information.
it's my own recreation, whatever I please to do with it.
So what makes you want to do it then?
I'm not interested in anyone's private plates. Who can pull information from your reg?
So why are you filming the cars when they come out of there then?
Because this is what I'm choosing to do with my time today.
Yeah, but why are you doing that? But you're
'Cause
saying
I
you're
wanna
not
film.
interested in people's private
No,
plates.
I'm not.
You're recording them when they come out of there.
What can I do with someone's private plate? Only yourselves in the
I've got
DVLA
no
can
idea.
pull that
I've
info.
got no idea.
Okay, well rest
But
assured I'm
but
not
it makes
interested.
me feel very uncomfortable.
Alright, well Sergeant, rest assured I'm not interested in harming anyone or using your plate for any sort of
And also,
ulterior motives.
being a police station, okay, this is a target of anyone for anything. And that makes me quite nervous that you're actually filming a police station.
Well, I can do it. I'm in public. I can film any police station I like. Do you think this is a valuable target for
Yeah, I do.
who?
I've got no idea.
Like who?
It's a police station.
So what, has this police station been attacked before? Like where's the basis for this argument coming from? Like
It's not an argument.
okay, what's the fact, is it?
I'm saying it's a fact either.
Alright, well
Observation.
I'm just like rest assured I'm not here for no trouble.
Same fella. Have you been anywhere else today? No? You've been filming other police stations at all?
Is it your business?
Yeah, it is. I'm asking you now, yeah.
The
Do you still go
detective
around-
then shifts the justification towards security concerns. He mentions that police officers can be targeted both on and off duty, and suggests that filming vehicles may contribute to that risk. On the surface, this sounds like a serious consideration, because officer safety is always treated as an important issue. However, when the auditor asks for clarification, the reasoning becomes less certain. The detective is unable to reference a specific incident or example that supports the concern being raised. That gap is significant when a serious justification is being used to support enforcement action. Vague security concerns often rely on general fear rather than clearly identifiable evidence. Without concrete examples, the argument becomes harder to evaluate as a lawful basis for escalation. If such a risk were established in practice, it would normally be documented in training or operational guidance. The absence of that reference weakens the claim being made. The auditor then highlights a further point about logic. If someone were conducting serious reconnaissance, it would not typically be done openly, in full view with officers present and awareness of the camera. Covert activity, by definition, tends to avoid visibility, not operate in a fully exposed public setting. This creates a contrast between the explanation being offered and the behavior actually being observed. which is why the justification begins to appear inconsistent when examined closely against the situation
So I'm asking
itself.
you now, yeah, because if you're going around filming all the police station, that makes me feel very uneasy.
Right.
And
So
I think,
what are you trying
I
to
need
do?
to investigate that.
Okay, what do you want to investigate?
Why you are filming Hampshire police stations? Is my conversation not clear? Are you not clear on what I'm saying?
I can film any police station, whether it's Hampshire, Surrey, any county.
Your personal details.
No, I won't. No.
First name, surname, date of birth, anything like that. Address.
Why? Have I committed an offence?
I'm not saying you have. I'm just asking the question if you're willing to provide police with that
You
information.
seem very on edge. Is there anything I can do to put you at ease?
I told you I'm on edge.
This is a camera, mate. I've given you assurances that I'm not here for any trouble.
Have I explained that? Have you not registered that?
I don't even think you are on edge. There's 3 of you. I've got a camera. Like, you guys are armed. Like, why would you be on edge? Should I not be the one that's on edge?
It's when we're coming out in personal vehicles.
Yeah, but what can I possibly do with your personal vehicle?
You tell me.
Then you should maybe consider taking the bus to work or something. I don't really understand.
So why should myself and my colleagues, or our way of getting to work?
Because you're so concerned about security arrangements and whatnot. So if it's such a security risk...
I'll tell you why, because police officers get attacked on and off duty.
Right.
That's what makes me nervous.
Okay.
And they do that because people share our private information and track us down to where we live with our families. That makes me nervous.
So has there been any cases of someone filming private plates and then going on to attack
I've got no
police
idea.
officers? Well, if you don't have any idea, then you can't be making those assumptions. Like.
Well, I can.
Well, no, you just said I have no idea. Like, you're a detective, mate.
I work in this industry, in the security industry, and I know police officers have been followed home. I know police officers' vehicles have been targeted.
Okay, well, I'm telling
I
you
know
that I'm not interested in harming any police
Yeah, but I
officer.
don't know that, do I?
All right, well then, what are we gonna? All right, how are we gonna proceed then?
Well, I'd like you to go if possible.
So is that gonna like? What does that achieve? Like, I'm not gonna go.
Well, it makes me feel better. I don't understand why you want to put me on this edge.
I'm not putting you. You're putting yourself. I don't even think you are.
The detective's reasoning becomes more visible in how it is constructed. He lists a series of actions: filming a police station, refusing to provide personal details, and filming in multiple locations. Then he concludes that, taken together, these factors amount to a terrorist risk. Each of those individual actions, however, must be assessed on its own legal basis. Filming in a public place is generally lawful. Refusing to provide details, depending on context, is not automatically an offense. And simply moving between locations while carrying a camera does not by itself indicate criminal activity. The concern raised here is how separate lawful actions are being combined into a single suspicion. This approach is often described as stacking, where multiple neutral behaviors are interpreted collectively as suspicious. The issue is not that officers cannot consider context, it is that context still needs a clear and objective foundation. If each individual action is lawful, the reasoning must explain what changes when they are combined. Without that explanation, the conclusion becomes harder to support, because suspicion still needs identifiable grounds. Otherwise, lawful activity risks being reinterpreted based on assumption rather than evidence, which is where careful distinction between fact and inference becomes important in assessing the strength of the justification.
I'm not putting you. You're putting yourself. I don't even think you are on edge. I feel like you just want to come out and bark a few directives and stuff. Like,
Any directives.
I feel like you want to flex a bit of perceived jurisdiction that you've got.
Really,
like.
I'm too old for that, really, if I'm honest.
All right, well then let's leave it at that. It's Friday afternoon. I've engaged. I've told you I'm not here for trouble. Like, I feel like
You haven't given a good reason for doing it.
I don't need a reason though. What I'm doing is lawful.
I'm not saying it's not lawful.
Okay, so why would I need a reason?
It's just like my colleague is explaining it.
Do I have to account for my actions in a public place doing something legal? You can find it strange. It's not illegal if it's strange. Like, I don't have to say anything.
It's definitely suspicious behaviour around police stations in the current state of affairs around the world, isn't it?
What state of affairs?
Where people are getting, Royal Police officers are getting injured, like my colleague said, on and off duty. It just makes it's a bit concerning.
What, on the basis of being filmed? Like,
but it's like, we keep going around in circles now, don't we? But is there anything you need to report to us today?
No.
Is that the reason why you're here?
no,
No? Why are you here then?
to film.
Why to film?
Because
What
this
you
is what I
achieved
want to do.
filming? Do you not see from our point of view that it could be considered a bit of a security risk?
No,
Why? Okay.
because I'm not trying to. I'm not doing it covertly. I'm doing it very overt, right in front of your face. I'm giving you ample opportunity to grab me, like
It may make
prospective.
it may make other members of the public that see you doing this, and obviously police officers and police staff coming out of coming out of here, be on edge. Why does he film me? Okay.
Because we're in public. You guys have got cameras everywhere. Like you're filming.
And there's
like,
CCTV all the way around.
of
the
course
city,
there
isn't
is, exactly. So what? I don't know why we've got such a
today
front
we've got another one.
about
Do you not think
filming.
that the police station could be a security risk?
Is it not a secure building? Like,
That wasn't my question. Do you concede that people may want to target a police station?
no,
You don't concede
because
that?
it's not. I don't think it's a valuable target. I don't know what sort of people you're referring to.
Well, anyone. Terrorists for one. Anyone. Terrorists for one.
Okay, well, I don't believe that this is a
Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000, an officer may only stop and search where reasonable suspicion exists. That suspicion must be based on objective facts, not general concern or subjective feeling. The legal threshold is important here. It is not enough for an officer to feel uneasy or uncertain. The suspicion must relate to specific indicators that connect the person to terrorist activity. Filming a building in a public place on its own does not meet that standard. Neither does refusing to provide personal details in the absence of a separate lawful requirement. Nor does simply moving between locations with a camera create a terrorism-related inference by itself. Guidance issued by policing authorities has consistently clarified that public photography is not, on its own, sufficient grounds. This is intended to prevent lawful activity from being misinterpreted as hostile intent. Therefore, any decision to escalate to Section 43 must still be supported by clear and specific reasoning. Without that, the legal threshold is not properly engaged, and the justification becomes difficult to sustain.
Okay, well, I don't believe that this is a valuable target for a terrorist. It's not like a civilian dense place, is it?
No, but it's related.
It wouldn't
to
be easy to plan.
And people like to target the government. And the
They
police.
don't though,
How
do
do
they? Terrorists don't target government, do they? They
Yeah.
go for they
That's why it's
blow
called
up buses
terrorism.
or
No,
train
that's why it's
stations and
called
that.
terrorism. Because it's specifically.
What, to coerce the government into doing something? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. You got it. See, you're starting to get it now.
Well, I've never not got it. I just don't think that this is a valuable target for a terrorist. I don't think police personnel are targets for
filming?
terrorists. Excuse me?
Are you even filming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just
I'm not a terrorist. Like,
Just holding your phone, or is it run out of battery or anything? Or
no, I'm holding it.
Still work. Let's have a look.
Why do you want to have a
Just
look?
asking a question.
No, you're good.
Just
But
curious.
what's wrong with just chill, man? Like, why you got such an attitude, man?
Attitude.
It's filming, bro. Rest assured, it's filming. Like, I don't think this is a valuable target for a terrorist. Has the police station ever been attacked
Yeah. up in
by a
London,
terrorist?
they
Has they?
have. Yeah. London
Which
police
one?
stations have been attacked quite regularly.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
Name a few.
Well, name one then.
Can't tell you.
So you can't name them, but you're saying that it's happening. Well, which one then?
I can tell you, but I won't.
What?
I can tell you, but I won't.
You can tell me, but you won't.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit odd. I don't know
why.
why.
You, not giving a reason for being here.
Yeah, but I'm not making an argument that police stations have been attacked before.
Okay. Search the internet. You might find some information.
I have. I wouldn't be irresponsible and do this if I didn't know that. If this was like a genuine security risk and this genuinely posed a threat, I wouldn't be irresponsible and come and do this. Believe me. And if this was behaviour that I knew that terrorists engaged in,
But it is.
I would
They
have.
film
No, it's
targets. They
what,
definitely-
overtly
Well, they might do.
with this little crappy
How do
little
I know
gimbal.
You're not a terrorist. How do I know that? How do I know that?
You don't know that, but you have to go
Exactly
based on
right.
what you do know. There needs to be an
Exactly.
objective
So
basis.
What I do know is I've got a man who's not willing to give his details stood in front of me who's filming police stations.
Okay,
So that's what I do know. That's the facts.
okay.
Is it not?
So me
Notice
filming
how the
doesn't.
search is being framed in real time. The auditor asks a direct question about what the officers are looking for. The response given is broad, anything related to terrorism. No specific items are identified at that stage. No clear parameters are set out. That creates a problem in terms of clarity, because search powers are normally expected to be targeted. In other words, there should be a defined objective or suspected item, not a completely open-ended scope. When a search is described in very general terms, it becomes harder to understand the basis on which it is being conducted. The key issue here is whether the grounds are specific enough to justify the use of a counter-terrorism power. Without clear articulation of what is being sought, the justification appears less focused. This is why specificity matters in policing powers. It ensures the search is based on defined suspicion rather than broad uncertainty.
So me filming does not implicate me as any sort of like prospective terrorist
No, but
or
it raises
otherwise.
more suspicion.
Well, you can be suspicious all you want. Like it's not a crime you suspecting me of doing something is not a crime. You need to have some sort of reasonable suspicion or objective basis to suspect me as a terrorist.
No, well, at the moment, I think you are filming a police station.
Yeah.
With no reason to do that. You are refusing to give your details. I have no idea where that information's going, and I know you have filmed other Hampshire police stations.
Okay, so how do we proceed?
I don't know, do we have a power of search? Section 44? 43, is it? I think we can do that. I think we can do that.
You sure you want to do that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I don't think you've got grounds for a Section 43 search.
Well, I'm telling you, I think I do, okay? So.
Yeah, well, it's not about thinking, it's objective, it's not an opinion, is it?
Look.
The legislation's black and white, it's not I think.
You can have this conversation with the solicitor afterwards and they can come after me at a later date. That's absolutely fine, okay? That's your right.
So you're going to abuse my rights now, yeah?
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to use our powers.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, I find your behaviour very suspicious.
Okay.
You are filming not just this police station in Hampshire, but other police stations in Hampshire. You can give me no legal,
Listen to what you're saying, Hampshire.
no legal reason why you are doing that, other than because you want to.
Yeah,
You are
that's. I don't
refusing
need a
your
reason.
details, so we can't even verify who you are or what you are doing it for. Therefore,
I'm not obliged to
I
give
consider
details.
that to be quite a big terrorist risk. Okay, so you are now detained for this search.
Okay.
Okay, under what is it, Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
Can I leave this running?
Of course you can, absolutely. So these officers are going to search you now in order to see if there is anything that needs to raise that suspicion even further.
So what items? Who's conducting the search firstly?
These two are going to conduct the search.
But you've just
Yeah, I've
launched
given
with
you
it.
grounds.
So what are these officers going to be searching for?
Anything related to terrorism.
Such as
or
what? That's a bit abstract, isn't it? Any sort of
Well, it
specific
is.
items?
Not at the moment. That's what
Maps.
The search is completed, no prohibited or suspicious items are found. At that point, the factual basis for the search has effectively been exhausted. There is nothing recovered that supports the initial concern. In normal circumstances, the next stage would be to reassess the situation based on what has actually been discovered. However, attention then shifts toward obtaining the auditor's identity. This raises a separate legal question. Search powers under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act relate to searching a person for items linked to suspected terrorist activity. They do not automatically extend to compelling identification once a search is concluded. These are distinct legal functions governed by different powers and thresholds. If the search has ended and no grounds remain, continued detention requires clear justification in its own right. The auditor refers to established legal principles regarding cooperation during investigations involving potential self-incrimination. The key point being raised is that individuals are not generally required to assist in building a case against themselves. From that perspective, refusal to provide additional information is framed as a lawful exercise of rights rather than obstruction. The overall issue becomes whether any remaining detention is supported by a valid and separate legal basis.
Not at the moment. That's what we are doing it for. To confirm who you are. That may help us.
So you're searching for my ID?
Well, no, and anything relating to terrorism. So if all of a sudden we find ID and that says actually this bloke's okay, there's nothing to worry about.
I am okay. I've told you I'm okay.
Yeah, I know you've told me, but I don't know that. Or it might say he's on a terrorist watch list, and then we've got something to worry about, haven't we? So
you're not going to find my info
okay,
though.
That's fine, but they're going to search you for that purpose.
This
okay?
power doesn't. I don't have to provide my information in this power.
No, I'm not asking to provide anything.
But you just said you're hoping to find ID, this and that, like.
Yeah, if they find it, we'll look at it. That's what's going to happen.
Can I get your collar number, please?
Yeah, 3358. Detective Sergeant Jamie Wiseman, Southampton Police Station, Hampshire.
It's abusing civil rights at the moment. Yeah, it's my perfect right to film it from public.
Yeah, of course you have.
Yeah. So why are you infringing on that?
I've told you that. Have you not understood what I've said?
You know you can be sued in a civil court.
That's absolutely fine. You can go down that route. I haven't got a problem with that.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm not going to obstruct the search.
Okay, cool.
My colleague's going to do the search.
All right.
What's your first name? Are we able to see?
I'm not going to give you my name, my friend.
It's just so we can have better communication
Okay.
skills. That's all it is.
Can I keep this in my hand?
Give me your hand,
Big, big guy. I'm not going to.
So all I want to do is so that I can communicate with you, so I can tell you what I'm going to do.
All right.
before I
No,
do
you
it.
crack on, mate.
So what was your name?
I'm not going to give my.
First name. That's all I want.
Is this a search or is this trying to find my details? Like, I don't really understand.
So you've already been told the grounds.
All right. Why don't you call me sir? How about that?
Okay, sir, you've already been told the grounds. So
Okay.
PC file from Southampton Central Police Station. The reason we're searching you is because you're acting suspicious outside a police
I
station.
thought he explained the grounds.
Yeah, no, we've got to go through something prior to doing the search.
Go wisely, yeah?
Okay, there you go. Yes,
Let my colleague explain it.
there we go.
Sure.
Okay, so that's obviously the grounds for the search. You can see my warrant card if you'd like to see my
No,
warrant
it's
card.
cool.
Okay.
Just get